is officially hump day.
Right. We're getting over the hump.
That's right. That's right. On to the other side. I am Sydney here with Eric, Claire, and Hunter. Good afternoon.
We've got the whole team today.
Yes.
This is exciting.
It's always fun when you come on.
I know, because you know, Monday, Tuesday, I'm not on with you guys, so sometimes I'll just come on to watch, and I'm like, dang, I wish I was with them.
You're at home going, I'll be there tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow. Got you guys.
Better be ready.
And Claire, we have a lot to talk about with weather because it's just really dry out there.
Super dry and going to continue to be dry, but rain chances are on the horizon, so that's good news.
Well, let's start with that. First things first, we're going to talk about the ongoing drought impacting our state.
Our very own WFMY News 2's Daniel Cruz talked to officials about the threat of more fires and if we could see additional burn bans. Daniel?
Guys, outdoor fires are keeping local officials busy. During the first 15 days of November, Rockingham County has seen a 111% increase in outdoor fires compared to the same period in 2002. These fires not only stretch resources thin, but they also can threaten homes and businesses. This fire just off of Business 29 in Reedsville is just feet from homes and has been burning for more than a week. Last week, Rockingham County Fire Marshal issued a burn ban restricting any outdoor burning within 100 feet of a building. However, a single spark from a cigarette or a tow chain could be enough to start a fire that, in these dry conditions, can quickly grow out of control.
It's not just your property. When you're burning, you're putting your neighbor's property at risk and anybody who's around you. And just, try to operate in the most safe manner that you can. And wait for the rain. Wait for the rain to come.
Could we have those same elements? The same elements that we've seen in other parts of the state, those same elements exist right here. And it's one spark away from starting the same thing that we've seen in other places.
Right now, the foothills are the only counties under a burn ban in our area. Sam Griffith with the North Carolina Forest Service says without a good soaking rain in the near future, the state will likely extend the burn ban throughout the Piedmont. And as you start cooking for Thanksgiving and decorating for Christmas, the officials also encourage you to use caution, especially with turkey fryers, Christmas lights, and those extension cords.
Daniel, thank you. We've got updates on the latest wildfires that have burned thousands of acres, starting with the popular Drive fire in Hendersonville, that is. Now, crews are still working to extinguish the fires. It is now 95% contained and spans 434 acres. The NC Forest Service Incident Management Team is expected to turn response efforts over to local units tomorrow. Efforts to contain the Collette Ridge fire are still underway. It is now more than 5,300 acres in size and is 79% contained. Crews were able to use a helicopter to drop water on the scene. And another fire just across state lines continues to burn. Crews in Patrick County, Virginia have been able to contain 70% of the flames. It has burned over 1,100 acres so far. Containment lines are still being used to prevent further spread.
Certainly has been dry across North Carolina, including the Triad. The last time we saw measurable rainfall was actually Halloween, so 15 days ago, and we only got 0.04 of an inch. Time lapse from this morning in Winston-Salem. A couple of pretty nice wave clouds. Overall, pretty nice and cloudy thanks to low pressure to our south. Not worried too much about rain chances, though, these next couple of days. Current temperatures are in the upper 50s. Pretty nice and cool out there. Middle and upper 50s, 57 in Asheboro and in Siler City. Next 12 hours, we're falling back down to the chilly upper 30s, nearing 40 tomorrow morning. But by the afternoon, going to be feeling a little bit more nice. We're back in the upper 60s, nearing around 70 degrees with our next best set of rain chances. Not so much coming heading into this weekend, but more so into next week with also cooler weather on the way. I've got a better look at your 7-day forecast. That's coming up in just a couple minutes.
Developing overseas, Iceland is bracing for a volcanic eruption. It comes after hundreds of earthquakes forced one coastal town to evacuate and prompted a state of emergency. You can see those massive cracks in the road there caused by the quakes. Officials believe there is a significant likelihood that an eruption will happen in the coming days.
I know that during the last eruption, you could feel the magma moving underneath the ground. And we're not feeling that yet, but I think an eruption could occur very rapidly. So we shouldn't hang out. I think it's a terrible situation. My heart goes out to all the people that live here. And it is what it is. It's Iceland. I know Icelanders are really strong, resilient people and have gone through a lot since settlement. So go through this as well.
A spike in earthquake activity led authorities to evacuate the town, which has more than 3,600 people living there. Now, that town is internationally known for its tourist draws like the Blue Lagoon, its geothermal spa, and is about 15 miles away from Iceland's only major airport.
This is tough to see all of these cracks, and I didn't realize how many people love to visit the spot, but there's a lot of people who have been there here locally.
Yeah, a lot of times one of the favorite things I like to do, I guess I call it a hobby of mine, I like to research, go on YouTube, Google all of the places I'd like to maybe visit in the future. Alaska's one of them, and Iceland is definitely one of them as well too. So I'm used to seeing it just so beautiful and all of the different sculptures there, so it's devastating to hear that this can possibly happen there.
And the video behind him, it looked like a movie set. Like the road was cracked in half. And I did read something the other day. They said that geologists there, and they're kind of studying this, that they can see how the land is like breathing at times because there's so much pressure underneath it.
And it's scary too, and that can have a direct impact on, these volcanic eruptions and whatnot with seismic activity. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Exactly.
Scary.
I wondered what this meant for local travel, right? Because so many people love to go there. All of the flights for Iceland Air are booked up for the next 2 months from Raleigh to Iceland. So this could impact a lot of travelers here locally. So here's what a travel agent said about the situation.
What we are seeing now, though, is there is a lot of demand for the Northern Lights, and now is the prime time for Northern Lights over the next couple of months. The other thing that we have to be concerned with is European travel. There's a lot of areas just getting into Europe that you will either bypass, go through the Keflavik airport, or really the air traffic is affected there.
She says the airlines have not shut down yet, but they are on standby. She also says depending on how the eruption impacts the weather, that smoke can restrict travel for a while. This could also impact spring break and the busy tourist season.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A High Point man with a history of exposing himself back in court, 20-year-old Norris Staten, was arrested Tuesday after police say he was touching himself in front of a mother and her 2-year-old. It happened inside of the Chick-fil-A on North Main Street during the lunchtime rush. They say Staten tried to run away, but he was caught and arrested in a parking lot across the street. This was Staten's 9th arrest for a crime just like this in 6 months. For this incident, he's being charged with indecent liberties with children and obstruction. Staten is also banned from 9 High Point businesses, 1 church, 1 school, and an apartment complex. He is currently being held on a $500,000 secured bond at the Guilford County Jail in High Point.
A new deadline is set to find a management company. It will run Greensboro venues, including the Tanger Center and the Greensboro Coliseum. It's now accepting bids until December 22nd. The original plan was to choose a management company earlier this month, but city leaders said they wanted greater competition and are asking for more bids. The plan is for the new company to take over in July. The city currently manages the venues.
And a new Publix supermarket grocery store opened today on Robin Lark Circle in Winston-Salem. The 48,000 plus grocery store has a team of 130 associates, and there's a deli, bakery, and several departments specializing from produce to seafood. There is also a full service pharmacy with a drive-through and body care section. The store is open 7 days a week.
All right, those of you that have lived in the Triad for several years, you're probably familiar with artist Bill Mangum's Honor Card charity fundraiser. This has been going on for decades. He used his talents to create the holiday card that became a Triad tradition, and it was all in the name of charity, but now he's put a new spin on the decades-old campaign. I caught up with him at his studio today to see what's happening. Well, again, another beautiful creation by Bill Mangum. We expect that. So we talk about the Honor Card series, Bill. This goes back decades. Talk about the beginning, and then we'll talk about how it's changed.
Well, it evolved actually back in 1988 when I befriended a homeless fellow by the name of Mike Saavedra. During that time, it pricked my heart to use my talents to help raise awareness and funds for the needy and homeless in our community. That began 35 years ago, but today it's transitioned to something different, and that's to help low-income families with affordable housing and critical home repairs.
Now, how did you get into that? What inspired you to make that change?
Well, actually, I met a fellow by the name of James Kennedy through urban ministry 25 years ago. He was a homeless individual, but during the years, he was able to acquire a house. And then COVID struck all of us, and he needed some critical repairs. Well, Community Housing Solutions, based right here in Greensboro, comes alongside families, and they help them with these critical needs. And when I saw the impact that they had on his life, I said, I want to get involved.
Now, how does the honor card work? Explain that for people that aren't familiar.
Well, this painting is titled Safe Haven, and with a donation of $5 or more, you take the card and you inscribe it on the inside, and it says a gift has been given in your honor to Community Housing Solutions. And all of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, go directly to support their mission.
So, you know, a lot of people know your honor card thing from over the years. How much money was raised with honor card in the last 30, 40 years?
Would you believe over $10.5 million?
Really? Wow, that's amazing.
So we live in a very giving community, and this is just a wonderful way to share that message, but to have an impactful gift during the holiday season.
Man, that's very cool. Well, we wish you luck, continued luck and success with this. Thanks for
so
being
much.
here. Yep, this is great.
Carolina's squat trucks are now officially banned in South Carolina after the new law went into effect on Sunday.
Several Myrtle Beach residents said that they are happy and relieved about the new law, with their main concern being safety.
And this is extremely problematic for several reasons, but the first and foremost, the issue is safety.
In May, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster signed legislation banning the so-called Carolina squat, and 180 days later, the new law went into effect. This comes almost 2 years after North Carolina put the same law into effect on their roads.
The safety is my priority. You don't get a good vision of the road. As far as, like, you know, they are fun to look at. I will admit, you know, some of them are. But as far as safety, it's a different issue.
There are two main parts of the law. One makes it illegal for someone to drive any vehicle other than a pickup that has been raised or lowered by more than 6 inches. Violators will be fined with $25 to $50. The second part includes pickup trucks and makes them illegal if the suspension or frame is raised or lowered 4 or more inches greater than the height of the rear fender. Violators will be fined $100 for the first offense, $200 for the second, and the third will result in a $300 fine and a 1-year driver license suspension.
No secret that Myrtle Beach has an infrastructural and a traffic problem. Driving on 501 is already hazardous as it is. Without lights, it can get even crazier if you can't see the road because you're squatting. So if you want to squat, take it somewhere else, but the road is nowhere to do that.
The greater good has to be thought of, in retrospect. And as I said, as the progression of the influx of people moving in, the more crowded area, I just think, it's time.
Master Trooper Brandon Bolt with Highway Patrol says cars are made level for a reason. When you raise your car like this, it changes the center of gravity.
I see probably 4 or 5 of them a day. It's a younger trend, so you're seeing folks that are in high school or just had graduated high school, do this.
Bolt says it not only impacts the vision of the driver, but the others on the road.
Obviously, you're tilted back just like you would be sitting in a recliner at home. That makes it hard to see. And then your high beams are already set higher than your low beams. So when you raise the front of that vehicle, even if you lower your headlights, your high beams are going to be directly in people's eyes.
Right now, drivers are just getting warnings, but after that warning period is over, drivers of squatted vehicles will be fined. These warnings will continue for 180 days, then the citations will start. Master Trooper Bolt says now is the time to get your cars fixed.
I can see how this can be unsafe, just in the sense of like if you're tilted upwards, you're looking and your hood's almost in your way. I had our producer explain that a little bit better for me to understand earlier, and I'm like, sometimes I'm the person who's like looking over my
I mean, it's hard enough like in a big car, like an SUV or something, it's hard enough to see that.
Or like a motorcycle where you have some people have the handlebars all the way up here. You have to like peep around the handlebars.
That's a
lot. Yeah.
I wonder if they're looking into that too.
Yeah.
Our producer was saying some kids got hit with these types of cars and that because you can't see.
You can't see them. Yeah, they're small.
I've actually never seen a truck. This is my first time seeing a truck.
Tilted
down
You've seen
like
the
that.
whole thing raised.
I've seen the whole thing raised before, but I've never seen it like that. But I have seen the motorcycles that are up high too. I've been concerned about.
I like the term though, squatting.
Yeah, it's actually like Carolina known.
Like
what is it? Carolina squat.
The Carolina squat.
Yeah, Carolina squat. So that
sounds like a bad line dance to me.
It does. It does.
All get together, do the Carolina squat.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Stay there.
A little bit more clouds today, and that means temperatures weren't able to climb to what we saw yesterday, more so in the upper 50s today, and that's thanks to low pressure sitting to our south, high pressure offshore, bringing in those clouds from just our south. But that moisture is also staying well offshore, not likely going to be seeing any isolated showers. If we do, later on Friday night, going to be isolated and also not going to be bringing us any much of a drought relief. Heading into tomorrow, lots and lots of sunshine on the way, more so than what we saw today, with highs back in the upper 60s, nearing around 70 degrees. Next, best shot of rain chances coming into next week as we're watching another front approach the area, squeezing through the area heading into Tuesday and Wednesday. Could bring us some very beneficial rainfall into next week. But ahead of that, lots of dry conditions. And if you are a warm weather fan these next couple of days, you're going to want to spend it outdoors. We're back in the middle and upper 60s, warmer than what we're seeing today, with lots and lots of sunshine. Full 7-day forecast, though, does feature some changes. Again, this is all the full week right before Thanksgiving, and we are going to be watching as temperatures slowly drop behind that front heading into next week. So throughout this upcoming weekend, going to begin to cool off back into the 60s, 60 for a high on Sunday, with isolated shower chances late Friday night and into Saturday morning. Next week, rain chances also, especially into Tuesday, beneficial as they are going to cool us off heading into Wednesday. Cool and a little bit more sunny heading into Thanksgiving.
A popular social media food critic ends his critique of Atlanta restaurants. TikTok star Keith Lee says he ended his Atlanta food tour earlier this month after a bad review caused some unwanted controversy. The social media star is known for his interactive reviews on businesses, which he anonymously orders from. During his stop in Atlanta, Lee ran into an issue when he voiced his frustration with one restaurant's ability to place takeout orders. His review sparked a broader discussion about customer service, and it led to Lee and his family receiving threats. He now has moved on with his tour, heading out west.
This is tough.
Yeah, have
That's a
you
bit
all
much.
seen him
No.
before on TikTok?
I have.
Yeah, he has close to about like maybe 14 million followers, and basically a lot of his content is him going to a lot of restaurants, I believe throughout the United States. Hopefully my producer will back me up if I'm saying something incorrectly, but yes, that's correct. So he goes to different good restaurants, different restaurants, really cool. He's gotten a lot of small businesses on the map and has helped them grow their service, which has been great. But I'm still kind of looking into the research with this specific situation, but it's sad that he is now stopping out of Atlanta because I guess some folks felt like he was being treated a certain way that because they knew him and he's very popular, and then when other folks would go in, they would be waiting for an hour or so, but when the folks would see him, they'd be would have him come in because they know who he is and stuff like that. But tough situation.
So just like a bad review gone wrong.
Kind of, yeah, and like I guess there was some confusion with restaurants. The biggest thing too is in no circumstance is it okay to send death threats to your family. Like,
that's taking us too far.
Yeah, I know. Because it's supposed to be a fun thing. He's just a guy going out and trying out food, and we all love food.
He's giving his opinion. It's not everybody's.
Right. All right, so with this in mind, I asked you on Facebook about your worst restaurant experience, and we got some doozies, but I will tell you a lot of the ones I couldn't use because they mentioned the restaurant by name, so I had to pick and choose here. So ordering a burger with fries, this is from Donna. She says, at a Baltimore restaurant, when we received the meal, I noticed the bottom bun was full of mold and was green. Spoiled my appetite for the rest of the evening. That would be a bad one there. Next we have Derek, and Derek says, got seated at a restaurant and nobody ever came to take our order. After seeing several others come in and get served, we got up and walked out. Employees came chasing out after us like we were trying to skip out without paying. Have not been back there. Melita says, finding a wire bristle from a grill brush on my steak. I was done. I won't say which restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, that's bad.
I've heard that actually be a problem before.
I have too. That can happen at home.
Yeah.
And that's why I quit using metal grill brushes for that very reason.
I was at a golf tournament like in high school for a state tournament, and I got the same thing. It hurt so bad.
Have you ever walked out of a restaurant because service was that bad? Because it takes a lot for me to walk out.
I can't remember what happened, but I've done that before. Didn't make a scene or anything. I just went to the next place. But I do remember there being like hair in my, and Hunter knows me well. Stuff like that. If I see one little thing, I probably won't be back for a long time.
I will be looking at the food before you get it in your hand to make sure that there wasn't a hair. That it was yours.
Say, no, I think that was your hair, Sydney. And I'm like,
see it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I can take a lot of things and still, I may not eat, I may leave, but the hair thing, I can't handle.
Oh man.
No, listen, and I'm impatient. So I sometimes go to the bar to eat because it's just, a lot quicker service. And basically, I remember going to this one restaurant, we waited 45 minutes at the bar.
At the bar?
At the bar, and nobody ever showed up. And we were just like, 45?
Yeah, then you got to get up and go to the
next. An hour at the bar.
Right.
I would have been.
I didn't see any waiters or waitresses either, so I was like, okay.
What's going
Hunter
on?
would be back to the kitchen door.
Can I make it back there? Can I go back there and get myself?
All right, we're coming right back. Stay there. Welcome back to the 4 to 5 on this Wednesday. I keep thinking, I don't know why. Yesterday I thought was Wednesday. Today I think it's Thursday.
I said the same
it's
thing.
Wednesday.
I said the same thing.
A week from tomorrow, Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Crazy.
I have been preparing my belly. Not really. I've been eating a lot, but I've been trying to expand it. You know what I'm saying?
Like a competitive eater.
Yeah.
20 hot
Gotta
dogs.
make sure I eat a lot so I'm ready for Thanksgiving.
That's right, absolutely.
I'm ready for the food.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, first in this half hour, 2 representatives nearly get into a fight on Capitol Hill. The incident occurred during a Senate committee hearing where one senator recalled a tense interaction that took place between him and union boss back in March.
It comes as Republicans and Democrats in the House came together to pass a funding bill to avoid a government shutdown.
The bill is passed. The House overwhelmingly voted Tuesday night in favor of a 2-step bill to extend government funding through early next year. More Democrats supported the measure, with 209 backing it, along with 127 Republicans, a key victory for Speaker Mike Johnson.
Speaker Johnson, how do you feel about the vote, sir?
We're pleased with the outcome. The vote capped off a chaotic and contentious day on Capitol Hill.
You look like a smurf here.
From name-calling at a House oversight hearing.
You've already been proven a liar.
Who's proven me a liar? You?
Yes.
Your word means nothing, Mr. Chairman.
To a beef between former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Tennessee's Tim Burchett, who helped oust him.
Hey, Kevin, you got any guts?
Jerk.
Burchett chased McCarthy after he said he was elbowed.
Elbowed me in the kidneys as he walked by.
I did not kidney punch him. I did not shoot anything like that.
You didn't shove it?
No.
You don't buy his explanation?
No, ma'am.
And over in the Senate, former MMA fighter and Oklahoma Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen almost came to blows with the president of the Teamsters Union.
If you want to run your mouth, we can be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay. Sit down, please.
Senator Mullen said it wasn't personal and he has no hard feelings. Meantime, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz has filed an ethics complaint against former Speaker McCarthy over that elbow incident. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. After days of justifying its reason to enter a Gaza hospital, Israel's military says it's conducting targeted raids against Hamas inside the medical center. A senior Israeli defense official says at least 4 Hamas militants were killed. Also, Israeli soldiers found weapons and, quote, concrete evidence that Hamas is using the medical center as a headquarters. With Hamas still holding some 240 hostages, families of the Israeli captives started a 5-day protest march from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
President Joe Biden and China's president met in San Francisco today. The highly anticipated meeting was the first meeting between the 2 leaders in a year. It comes as tensions have flared up over multiple issues between the 2 global superpowers. President Biden says the meeting is an important step to get back on a normal course of communication.
The Senate Foreign Relations Committee held a hearing today discussing the impact of artificial intelligence. The chairman of the committee says AI has the power to change the world of politics and how the U.S. interacts with other countries in times of peace and in times of war. The hearing comes shortly after an overseas trip by the vice president from London for an AI summit. The White House says the summit worked to create global rules and norms on how to implement AI in a responsible manner.
A little bit of a cooler day today thanks to that abundant cloud coverage as low pressure lingers to our south. Temperatures here at 435 sitting in the upper and middle 50s. 58 currently in Greensboro, 55 in Siler City, and 56 in Asheboro. 8 degrees cooler than where we were at just 24 hours ago overall across the Triad. 5 to 10 degrees cooler thanks to that cloud coverage blocking that sunlight. Next 12 hours, we're back down into the upper 30s, lower 40s. Going to be a cool way to start the day tomorrow, but it is going to be significantly warmer than what we saw today, only in the upper 50s. By tomorrow early afternoon, we are in the middle and upper 60s, even flirting with the lower 70s these next couple of days. In rainfall, although we are in desperate need of it, going to remain slim these next couple of days as well. You'll notice rain chances entering the forecast overcast just a bit later on Friday and into Saturday, but for the most part going to remain dry heading into these next few days and into the weekend, with our next best set of rain chances coming next week. I've got your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
Claire, thank you. There's a new spin on a classic holiday play. We get a sneak peek of the historic Brown Mart Theater's new version of A Christmas Carol. Check it out.
A couple of the actors are sharing what they're most excited to bring to the production.
Bah, humbug.
I'm just excited to try to just go over the top with this character. She's very proper, but she's so emotional.
Jeremiah Garriga's Cortelyou is starring as Ebenezer Scrooge himself. He's reflecting on the play as a new twist on a holiday classic.
It's fun. It's a good way to have a new play, but still recap the story and hit on some new ideas, and we get a fun surprise.
The play's costume designer says one of the costumes in the show took 2 weeks to get it just right. She also says many of the costumes have been recombined from the original version of A Christmas Carol.
The ghost of Christmas future. He is really creepy. Since then, in the 2 years he's been used, that costume has been used about 4 times.
Jana Vish was cast for the role of Sarah Ann Wainwright. She wants her audience to know that even with a classic tale, there's always more to be discovered.
Especially if they've seen The Christmas Carol before, which most people have. I hope that they just get like, hey, there is more to the story. This is the end of that story.
The play may have a fresh twist, but it'll stay true to the same holiday spirit.
It really does hit on a nice point about, the original Christmas Carol, we'd learned about, the spirit of Christmas, it's great. And then also, but maybe we could be great all the year.
Hey there, it's your friends from the Good Morning Show, Ben, Lauren, and Megan.
Do you have a little one who's turning 2 years old?
We want to celebrate them on TV with Who's Turning 2 Tuesdays. Text birthday to 336-379-5775 to find out how to submit your birthday boy or girl.
And from all of us on the Good Morning Show, happy birthday!
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. All right, I want you people to be ready because I'm taking you on a field trip. All right,
Ooh, I love
this
field
is
trips.
Ashe County, North Carolina. You're going to be on the trolley.
Love it.
You're at a Christmas tree farm. Are you ready?
Ready? I love this.
I've
All
waited
right.
for this my whole life.
Let's see what happens next. Okay, also on this farm, let's show you, we're going to take the video full, is a huge crane. Now, this is not how most of us get our Christmas tree out after we've cut it down, no, but it is how they do it when the tree is going to be displayed in the White House. This is an 18.5-foot native fir tree. It's from the Klein Church Nursery in Fleetwood, North Carolina. This morning, the tree was hoisted up and hoisted out and put into an open-air trailer to get it on its way from the farm. Now, this is the second time the Klein Church Nursery has been selected to send a tree to the White House.
How fun is that?
I
And
love
then
that.
watching them, I guess the folks who do work there, watching all of that
All
happen
that do
is
that.
fun.
So, you know, North Carolina really does have a storied history for being picked to send a Christmas tree to the White House. This is the 15th time.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Since like the 1960s or so.
What a bragging right for that farm, too.
I know, and this is the second time actually that they've been able to do it. This tree is going to be in the Blue Room at the White House, and this has been done since about the 1960s or so. And I want to show you the last time a North Carolina tree was in the Blue Room. So this is a really pretty picture, and so we're going to show you here. This is a Fraser fir, 19 feet. They called it Ruby. The tree came from Jefferson, North Carolina. Rusty and Bo Estes. By the way, the Fraser fir is the most popular Christmas tree choice of all time.
That's right, sure is.
All right, so are you live Christmas tree people or fake Christmas tree people? And there's no wrong answer
Yeah, that's
here.
right.
It's true.
You want
Give
me
me
to go
a
first?
fake one.
A fake one?
Yep.
I grew up with a fake one, but my wife says no way, live tree. So we've done live trees for 15 years. Yeah.
See, I've got a fake, but I really want a real one. I just need somebody responsible enough to water it.
And that is
Yeah,
not
that-
you.
Is that right? I'm like, is that not you?
So I have a
No,
fake tree.
have you seen the automatic watering
Okay,
thing?
there we
There
go.
is one, and there's
cool.
also this little thing that we did a story on years ago, and it's like a little elf.
I remember
and
this.
you sit him on there, and he has like a little thing that goes into the thing, and he's like, water me, water me, water me, if you need to water
I
it.
would
He
need
says
that
it.
one.
That's
Yeah.
so cute.
He
I
kind of like
remember that.
chirps and whatever else.
And how does it know it needs to be?
Because it has like a little,
Sensor.
it has a sensor in there that lets you know when the water goes down.
Cool.
Because those trees drink it up.
Oh my gosh. I did put a story online, and it has ways for you to keep your live tree looking good. And they say preservatives like soda sugar, not it. They
Not
say
it.
it's just all like wives' tale, don't do that. It really has more to do with when it was cut and how it was cut.
So the guys that we go to do a fresh cut at the bottom of the tree
Yes.
before we take it home. Does that matter?
Yes, it does make a difference because
Okay.
that's how they're going to sop it up. If it's just sitting there at the tree farm, you know, it's been cut and it's been sitting there, and you pick the tree, you actually have to saw off the bottom. Otherwise, it's not going
Like
to suck up.
flowers.
Yeah, they
Yes.
said the sap will kind of just
That's
gather
correct.
down there and it blocks the water from going in.
Interesting.
I do have one last video to show you. And here it is. After a quick ceremony this morning, the tree was loaded onto this big old semi truck, and it is now on the way to the White House. The side of the semi, as you can see, proudly displaying this right here is a North Carolina Christmas tree. Love that. All right, don't miss this. We put together a list of holiday lights, Christmas parades, all that kind of good stuff in the triad. Just text Christmas to 336-379-5775. We're going to send the list right to your phone.
Well, as people consume everything pumpkin this time of the year, we meet a Minnesota man who's thankful for his gourds all year round. Boyd Hooper first featured him 12 years ago, and he's only grown his craft ever since.
It's not always easy to see greatness before it blossoms.
That's right. We try and keep things pretty basic around here as far as trying.
But the seeds of success were already sprouting when we met Travis Ginger the first time. That's Travis 12 years ago.
You can kind of tap them and see how thick the walls are.
A then 31-year-old obsessed with growing the greatest pumpkin. Round-the-clock fans to stop rot.
Dark side out, let the sun heat it up.
And daily tuck-ins.
Just like that.
Years earlier. As a teenager,
probably when I was about 14,
Travis was already dreaming.
I used to go to the dentist and sit there and read the Guinness Book of World Records and see these guys, and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
So he started his pumpkins under baby greenhouses.
It seems to work.
Ran heat coils through their soil, fed them various concoctions several times a day, and gave them names.
I named this one Chewbacca,
which caused us to gently rib Travis about his prospects for winning, say, a wife.
They tend to think that you enjoy this stuff much more than them.
Foolish us.
So we met the end of 2017, and then 2020 is when we got married.
Then Megan and Travis produced a little pumpkin.
Lily, she just turned 2 in July, and she's just the joy of our life.
Lily. Only starting to understand the depth of the pumpkin affection that we witnessed 12 years ago. And the heartbreak this summer when Travis's largest pumpkin first revealed a fatal crack.
That morning, I was getting Lily ready for daycare, and Travis had walked past the window, and I just saw the expression on his face, and I knew that something had happened to one of the pumpkins. And I told Lily, I said, I think one of the pumpkins got hurt. And we have a picture of Lily in the pumpkin patch, just crying when we went out to visit Godzilla.
So they're under there inspecting it.
Which makes what happened last month even sweet.
We are gonna weigh this one.
That's Travis center screen in orange in Half Moon Bay, California.
And now you know why we bought a new scale.
With his second biggest pumpkin of 2023.
It's covering every inch of this thing.
The one he named Michael Jordan.
Are you guys ready?
30 years after growing his first, Travis stood on stage at the World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off.
Are you ready?
The existing world record held by an Italian, 2,702 pounds.
2749!
From teen garden geek to world record holder. About to collect $30,000 in prize money. Headlines carried his feet around the globe. Anoka proclaimed Travis Ginger Day before he carved a path through the city's Halloween parade.
Right here.
The pumpkin patch,
this is it,
was blanketed by snow the day we came back to see Travis.
You can see the dirt. That's it. That's what grew it.
While airing out in a basement laundry room were the jeans of a champion.
Sometimes you'll just take them and spin them around like that, just make sure that they're dry.
Travis will keep a few, give others to pumpkin clubs, and sell the rest to growers for $275 per seed.
It's a chance. You never know what it might lead to. Maybe the first 3,000 pounders sitting right here.
So says a man who dreams big.
Or bust.
Oh, I've never seen somebody so excited
over their
pumpkin.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
well,
wow.
It took him a long time, to grow that.
Mm-hmm. And now he's selling those seeds for, I can't even believe how much. I mean, an individual seed, what did they say, like 200?
Wait, our producer, what did you
yeah.
say, Aaron? How much are the seeds?
$250.
Interesting. For one single seed.
Wait, that's
single
one?
seed. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That he got to dry in his
that,
laundry
yeah,
room.
that's a business I didn't get to.
Yeah. Wow.
Very interesting.
I wonder how big of a pumpkin pie you can make.
That's a great question.
When they
Or
grow
carving.
those, the huge ones like that, they're not good to eat. Like they'll tell you, you can cut this open. It's not good. It's just what they have to do to make it that big makes it not really tasty.
What about what Sydney said with carving?
I mean, that'd be that'd be like a 3-man job.
That'd be
in there with shovels.
Chainsaws.
Yeah, but it would be
Yeah.
such a cool, jack-o'-lantern. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be scary.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's take a look at that weather.
Yep, of course. Well, it's been 15 days since our last measurable rainfall. Back on Halloween, we only got 0.04 of an inch, and so we are in desperate need of some rainfall. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing it the next couple of days thanks to high pressure dominating the area and moisture staying well to our south. Next best set of chances coming in later on into next week. We're watching into Monday and Tuesday as a front moves over the area. Beneficial rainfall is going to be possible. 7-day forecast though ahead of that tomorrow and the next day going to be the 2 warmest days of your 7-day forecast. We're back in the middle and upper 60s. A little bit cooler heading into the weekend thanks to a cold front moving through the area. Next week we're back in the middle 50s. Breezy conditions on the back end of a front heading into Wednesday and into Thanksgiving.
And one last thing before we go, the Carolina staple Duke's Mayo Bowl and Classic is staying in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. Tepper Sports and Entertainment and the Charlotte Sports Foundation say they are excited to host the event again. The new agreement continues the 21-year run of Charlotte hosting both college football games.
And you have a chance to see more action at the Bank of America Stadium by winning free Panther tickets. Head to WFNYnews2.com and answer the trivia questions to enter. You could win 2 tickets to the Buccaneers game on January 7th. The winner will also get a signed football and other Panthers gear. Play until Friday at 3 p.m. We will reveal the winner Friday night at 11 on WFNY News 2, your official home of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Not ready. Not ready.
Hi there, documentation can help with insurance claims if anything is stolen.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You've seen this face for months. 20-year-old Nori Staten.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I now have to do a microphone switch every day. So if you just want to make me last, that's how this kind of goes.
You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
time for my 2 cents. It's hard to believe it's that time again for holiday parades, a time where people and groups come together to march down a street and celebrate the holidays. You know, I've never had the chance to be a part of a parade until I started working here at News 2. In fact, if you were at Greensboro's holiday parade last year or High Point's, you would have seen us passing out cool News 2 gear and, of course, waving hello. Growing up, I've always attended parades, but being a part of one has helped me gain an entire new meaning to the event, the importance of community engagement. It's been an honor to be able to meet our viewers, take photos with them, and watch the crowd of people come together. It's also been nice speaking with other community groups that are a part of the parade and hearing their stories of why they not only love the holidays, but the Triad too. If you've never been to a parade here locally, I encourage you to go. You'd be surprised by the type of connections you could make. High Point's Holiday Parade is scheduled for November 19th. Greensboro's is December 2nd at noon, and Winston-Salem's is also on the 2nd at 5 o'clock p.m. We'll be there at all 3 of the parades and certainly hope to see you too. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
9 times police have arrested this man, Nori Staten, 9 times in the past 6 months.
What he's accused of doing is disturbing. High Point police say he has a history of exposing himself, and he's accused of doing it again, this time at a Chick-fil-A.
But he was like following our female